Homeschoolers learned the habits of liberty by looking to each other to form associations and create an institution independent from the state that is better serving children all across the country. I'm Jim Mason. I'm the president of Homeschool Legal Defense Association. I came to work at HSLDA because my family homeschools. My wife, Debbie, and I have 7 adult children, all homeschooled. Homeschooling started out as a very small movement 50 years ago or so. It grew very slowly. Little by little, barriers were removed. Homeschooling continued to grow, but it was a kind of a slower growth. Then with the pandemic, and suddenly everybody was home with their kids, lots of families who would never have thought about homeschooling their own children actually experienced it during the pandemic and grew to like it. So when public schools reopened in the fall of 2022, lots of parents didn't send their kids back to public school, and that created a big stress point for the public schools. The challenge today is those with a different worldview want to reinstall those barriers, even to the point of banning homeschooling, as Professor Bartholet from Harvard has called for. Professor Elizabeth Bartholet from Harvard had actually posted her law review article in draft form about a year before it became notorious. It really became notorious because the Harvard Crimson magazine, which is an online journal that gets clicks and views and all that stuff, profiled both the law review article and Professor Bartholet's actual views on homeschooling. And the real irony of it is that the article in the magazine that went viral hit right before the COVID-19 public school closings in America. So just as her article went viral, public schools all over the world were shut down, and basically everybody was homeschooling. And in the early days, families who chose to homeschool may not have known anyone else who were homeschooling in their area. So pre-internet homeschoolers had to kind of find each other to provide mutual support to each other. And that began really in the late 70s. It started blossoming in the 80s. As homeschooling became more and more popular, people began to find each other, form private associations. Most every state in the country started a state homeschooling organization to both encourage and support homeschool families and to lobby the legislature for better laws. In 1983, Homeschool Legal Defense Association was formed to provide legal helps to homeschoolers all over the country. And all of those private associations just kind of sprung into existence organically to meet the need. Nobody told us we had to do it. It was one of those quintessential American things that to achieve an important goal, we look to each other and form these private groups to strengthen the efforts of all of us. That begins from the premise that children are given to families to raise, nurture, and educate. We don't get our liberties from the state. Our liberties are God-given and in our system in America, protected by the Constitution. Homeschooled children tend to be more involved in any number of things, including political activism and legislative work, is because homeschooling allows families to pursue the interests of their children without too much impediment. Homeschoolers learned the habits of liberty by looking to each other to form associations and create an institution independent from the state that is better serving children all across the country.